Was Namek Saga just leaked? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today, and we have a very surprising new detail, and that is the possible leak of an upcoming celebration tied to the planet Namek Saga. So we'll break down that and why we think this might be possible here in this video. So let's go ahead and start. So as you guys can see on screen here, right, we have from the JP News update version 6.0. And all this simply goes over is what to expect when the version update drops about the new mode coming for Dokkan Frontier. But what's interesting is not that the new mode is coming, but rather this asset right here. This is a new Goku asset, and it is specifically from this scene here, which we actually do have a support memory for. So actually, let's pull that up real quick. It is from the support memory here where Goku first arrives on Namek. In fact, it is this scene down to the pose and everything. Right? You can see the resemblance there. It's literally Goku standing in front of the Capsule Corp spaceship as he arrives on Namek. Right now, people would say, well, obviously it's just from the support memory, right? But as you guys can see, right, when we compare it to the support memory here, let's play it again, right? When you compare it to the support memory here, the support memory uses the traditional Dokkan sort of animations, right? And you see that there's very little shading to Goku here. However, here you have your typical shading. And, one of the Twitter artists, the guy famous for doing the Dokkan X, what was it? The fan-made Vegito, Kaioken, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegito card, right? Does a lot of animation studies. Happened to point out that, yeah, right, the way that the shading is structured, the palette, all pretty much fall in line with previous iterations of, right, Goku SSR arts. So it is very, very likely that this is tied to an SSR. Now we know currently the reason this is in game is probably because it will show up as an asset here in the Dokkan Frontier. We know the upcoming Dokkan Frontier is related to Planet Namek Saga. So at some point when something plays as you go through the story mode here, you'll see this asset. But it's very likely that it will end up being reused as an SSR at some point. And this is not the first time we've seen that happen either, right? We saw that with the boss card Goma. He ended up getting from his story mode, ended up getting reused, and that became his SSR for the eventual LR Goma. So this wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. But what does that mean? When would we likely expect this if this were to happen? Well, the obvious answer is GDC, right? This would be the best place for it to happen because then we get to pair him with Frieza. But that doesn't always necessarily mean it's the case, right? We do know that around July, we now have the Transcendent Dokkan campaign, and the Global Dokkan campaign has moved to September. They essentially switched the schedule from last year. It is now going to be similar to previous JP schedule where the Transcendent Dokkan campaign, previously the Tanabata campaign, is now back in July, which makes sense, right? The Transcendent Dokkan campaign was centered around the Tanabata Festival in Japan, and so now it makes sense that that is being celebrated once again, which also means we might get the Tanabata event back, which would be cool, right? Early return for the anniversary LRs, but that would honestly be not that bad of a place to return to bring this guy, right? You drop this guy because in the past, right, Tanabata up until Vegeta and Trunks, right, Tanabata had usually been some kind of, up until Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Tanabata had been a joint forces, but always related to Goku and Vegeta's family somehow, right? And then starting with Gogeta and Frieza, that was the first time we had something different. But if they want to go back to the standalone route, we very well could see a standalone Goku here, right? This could be his SSR and transform into Super Saiyan as his, right, active skill or whichever, right? This would be a good place to put it. It would be something, depending, we don't know what they have planned for Dokkan, Global Dokkan Campaign, but they could easily do him as a standalone for Transcendent Dokkan Campaign, and then his Part 2 Carnival could be Final Form Frieza. Regardless of which choice they go, whether they release them together at Global Dokkan Campaign or Transcendent Dokkan Campaign, it kind of needs to happen, right? He needs to release with a Frieza. We need that Final Form Frieza, right? The only two Final Form Friezas we have in game are this one and this one, and they're both banner units. We don't have any premium Final Form Friezas, so it would be nice to actually get one, and you know that one of these would probably be the best place to do it. But it does, I mean, the fact that this asset is in so early, granted, it is related to this new event. It being in so early almost scares me that it might be Golden Week, and rather than getting LRs, we might be getting TURs here. I hope that's not the case. I would prefer Transcendent Dokkan Campaign or for GDC so they get the proper full LR treatment, but we shall see what they decide to do. Regardless, I mean, it needs to happen, right? We are long overdue for a proper Planet Namek celebration, right? Every once in a while we get pickings, right? We got AGL Vegeta when he came, and then we got his Part 2, and then we got the LRs that dropped with him, but it still wasn't enough to fully fill out the team. Even when the anniversary LR EZAs dropped for Frieza and for Goku, right, the team was still kind of struggling. Like, they don't really want to give the attention to the team that it deserves, and you know, that's kind of why I feel like it needs to happen at one of these big campaigns. Transcendent Dokkan Campaign, Global Campaign, it's got to happen here so the team can really get what it deserves, right? We can't just get Namek Goku and call it a day, right? We're gonna have to get Namek Goku. We're gonna have to get some support, right? You know, some banner unit Gohans for some support. Heck, even throw in a banner unit Super Saiyan Trunks to support Super Saiyans. I don't know. Do something, but make it worth our while, because outside of Saiyan Saga, this is probably one of the most disrespected this is one of the most disrespected categories for sagas within the game. They did it properly once and then never touched it again. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And even then, it wasn't that great. It was still a rough team. You were pretty much carried by full power Frieza on the team. So yeah, it's we definitely need some work. We definitely need some time. And of course, they could also super easy this guy, this guy. We know that AGL Vegeta is supposed to get a sticker effect from the new mode, as they showed off. But we also know that the people who participated in the fan meetup saw a new sticker effect for this guy too, so it's possible there could be another iteration coming for a big Namek Saga celebration. We won't know for sure till it happens, but it's gotta happen, and I think it's no coincidence that this new asset dropped now. So guys, that is it for our video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, do you really want to see a Namek Saga celebration this year? I know this is something that I've been wanting for a long time. It's really, really long overdue. It is deserved. It's a shame that Dokkan disrespects the category so much compared to other Saga categories, right? If it's not especially from Z, right? If it's not Majin Buu Saga, they want nothing to do with it. And this is definitely one of those categories that needs the love. It needs the attention. It's one of the most iconic arcs in the show, right? With the most iconic transformation in all of anime history. It's really a shame that we only ever got that iteration once, but we've got like 50 Vegetos in the game. So hopefully they take the time, hopefully they do it well, and we can all end up enjoying a big Namek celebration during GDC. So guys, that's it for the video. If nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.